Hello everyone, just a short video to clarify a few points from yesterday's video in relation to the 2021 extreme map on the bike, which gives the increased oil on initial start when the outside temperature is 10 degrees or below. So we're in a British winter at the moment and it's currently like 1 degree out there at the moment. We had snow last night, it's bloody freezing to be fair. I've been out on the bike a short time ago. Just cleaned it off, it's still a bit wet, but no problems today at all, no problems at all. It's just understanding that initial starting procedure. So all I've done is basically I'm starting this video backwards really. So I've been out for the ride, I'm back in the garage now, I'm going to inspect the spark plug and see what it's like when we take it out. Just like it were yesterday, clean. So just turn the camera. So where we're at, yeah, going back to the start procedure in the bike. With this map, just to clarify what it actually does, and I think Bradley at Two Stroke Performance will back me up on this as well. 10 degrees outside temperature or below, extra oil will go into the system. You know when you prime your pump, when you've changed your oil pump, and you prime the system, well, this map does that every time you will cold start the bike, and that's when it's clapped cold. So start the bike up, go through the warm-up procedure like you would do, you'll see my sort of warm-up procedure on the video. I'm just basically going out on the road and just giving it no more than a third throttle in top gear, just putting it on, getting the engine warm up before I start opening it up and we go around the field. Once the engine's at operating temperature, you're not going to have that oil injection if you are stopping and starting the bike. So only when the engine is cold, from the initial start procedure. So, people have said, oh, it's pointless. It's not pointless. If you've got a 19 bike, it will, the 2020 map will make your bike run smoother, no doubt about it. What are the options? Well, if you've got a 19 or below, you could still go for a 556 map, which is the 2020 standard map, yeah, or like I've done, gone for the 557, which give the same performance range, but you just got the oil increase on the initial start with the 557. That's it in a nutshell. And to avoid those plugs being fouled, is it really good to be stopping and starting a two-stroke bike for, especially a TPi bike like this, the short, those stop 15, 20-second start-ups? Or is it really good to let a two-stroke just tick over for a long period of time? It's not. It doesn't do the bike any good at all. You will see, I think it's Carl Brotherson on the Dirt Bike channel. He's done a warm-up procedure for the TPi bikes very recently. Look at how he warms his bike up and what he thinks about the warm-up procedure. Just have a watch of that. But I'm happy. I am happy with this bike now. It's a learning curve, like anything's a learning curve. I suppose it's very similar to when the lithium batteries came online with the four-strokes, and people were saying, oh, my battery's dead, the battery don't work. There's a technique to waking the battery up. It's a similar sort of thing. It's a technique to warming the TPi bike up. Now we know the way that the map works on this bike, on this 2020 extreme map with the increased oil. We know what to do. We know how to run the bike properly, and that's the what we need to know and what people need to learn, I suppose. So yeah, it started up this morning. We were out. It was clap cold. Fired it up. Had it on choke for for a few seconds, that's all. Got on the bike and got going, and great. We've come back and the plug's clean, so I'm happy. You know, take from this what you will, but you know, for me, it's made it a better bike, and I'm pretty sure once we get the next sort of generation of maps through, we might be able to try one of them as well. I don't know, but at the moment, this 19 has gone from sometimes quite aggressive power delivery to a more smoother power delivery, which is what I like really. So if you are riding a 2020 bike, you're not going to gain much, you know, from a performance point of view, like you would with a 19 to a 20, where it's smoother. You're only going to get the extra oil if you want that. So, I mean, what are the options really? The options are, if you're not happy with the bike, your bike, how it's running, the other option is to go down the TSP route, the two-stroke performance route, and get the head and the flash, the ECU reflash with them. That's your other option. So, which is, you know, by all accounts, a very good product, but it's quite expensive. That's the downside. But it's all down to what you want out of your bike. But for me, I'm going to continue testing this. I've no reasons to doubt at all that there'll be a problem. Now we know what we're doing with the start procedure. So that's a bit of an update from me. This is what happened a short time earlier, about an hour ago now. I went out on the bike, and you'll just see how it performs. So from me at the moment, stay tuned. Hard Enduro Media and at Eurotech, the Hard Enduro Specialist. See you soon. Right, it's a cold December morning here in North Yorkshire. It's about 1 degree. The bike's cold, so this is going to be the first time we're starting it. It's quite cold. I'm just going out for a gentle sort of 5 minutes, aren't we? Let the bike warm up. Speak to the wife. Be back in a few minutes. I'm just doing a little bit of a test. Okay. So we've got the bike through that initial 30-second startup cycle where that extra oil's going in. I'm just checking the temperature on now, feeling the top of the radiator, it's feeling quite warm in that now. When I was riding down there, I wasn't giving it any big throttle or anything. I was probably, you know, a quarter to a third throttle in top gear down that road. Not kicking it wide open, just getting the engine up to temperature. So we're clearing that initial oil cycle. That's what we're doing, because, you know, trying to make this sort of clear now. I'll just turn it off a minute. The oil gets injected on this map below 10 degrees on initial startup, so it's protecting the engine. That's the idea behind it. So below 10 degrees, like now we're in British winter, it is cold. It's bloody cold. I'll get my gloves back on. We had snow last night, and it is about 0 to 1 degrees here in North Yorkshire at the moment. So that's when we want that extra oil in there to lubricate things up. If it's above 10 degrees, sort of outside temperature, then you won't get, or you shouldn't get, that extra oil injection. Now, the guys at Two-Stroke Performance, I think it's Bradley, he did a little video, like I said earlier, and he tricked his ECU. He's got the dyno, the technology there, so he can sort of give more information on that. But anything above 10 degrees, it should just go back to like a 556 map would run, which is the standard 2020-2021 map. So with the 557, it's just when it's at below cold, you know, below 10 degrees, British winter or a winter wherever you are, and that's when it's going to put the extra oil in. So the startup procedure is critical, really. So it's important that you get your bike up to operating temperature. If you're just stopping and starting the bike and messing about with it for short, you know, like 15-20 seconds, that's when you're going to get that foul plug scenario. So this is, you know, it's an understanding really of how the map works. That's what we're trying to get across to people. Personally, I think it's great. I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to put this back to a 19 map. There's no point. I'm happy with the bike, the way it's running. So let's go for a bit of a spin. Boggy down here. Oh, wheel spin down. What we'll do is we'll just take it in the field. Just give it a rip round the field, see how we get on. Bam. Bit wet down here. Slippery, very slippery. bit overgrown as well. I need to get in here with cutters. You can see I've started putting things in. And we've got these bits of tree trunks in. We're going to start putting some obstacles in the track here. The tyre there. Need another one there to double that up. First here. I've got a pretty bald extreme tyre at the moment. So, running great, no problems at all. I don't have any issues, and now I understand how that cold starting cycle really works, and that you've got to sort of go beyond that 30-second starting cycle sequence where all the oil's going in, like I say, below those 10 degrees when it's cold like this. Is that you've got to get the bike past that 30 seconds and let it get warm, and then from there on, once the bike's up to operating temperature, when you start the bike it won't do that initial oil dump. So you are effectively running, I mean, the 556 map, which is a standard sport rider map for the 250 and the 300 TPIs, is the same as the 557 extreme map. The only difference with the 557 map is that initial start up in cold below 10 degrees is it puts more oil into the engine. But in addition to that, I have seen a very slight percentage increase in overall oil consumption during the course of, let's say, 2 to 3 hours riding. Although it's very marginal, and it's not a lot, but it's a little tiny bit more. So that's got to be a good thing. So for me, I'm not going to go back to a 19 map. It feels better. The bike feels better. It does. The options are, if you guys have got 19 bikes, you can upgrade to a 556 map if you don't want the extra oil. That's the other option if you don't want that. But for me, I'm going to stay as it is and keep running it as it is. It's a long-term bike, is this. If I can make it better without spending a heap of money on it, I will do. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have another couple of laps of the field. We're going to go back home, and then I'm going to take the spark plug out and we'll look at the spark plug. Okay? Is that running? So I've got my keys. You alright? You what?
What's that? You've been having fun?
Yeah, I've just been testing it. Just had a bit of a spark plug issue yesterday. But we've sorted it. Yeah.
You do a lot of
So, yeah, we've had a few laps at field there. Bike's been idling for a little while. Running low on fuel. So I'm just going to go back now to the house, get the bike cleaned off, and we'll have a look at that spark plug.